for a few things? Hey, we're going to have our guest speaker come up. This year, our guest speaker is our own Steve. Give her a round of applause. Hey, fifth graders, if you could go ahead and take a step forward and sit where your feet are.
Good morning, everyone. A little nervous, forgive me. I feel so honored and blessed to be here. Right now, as we gather here today, thousands of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen are on the job around the world protecting America. I myself was born into a big military family. I was born in the Marine base Camp Pendleton in California, where my father was stationed, and I was delivered by a Navy doctor. Growing up, all of my grandpas, great uncles, and uncles, and all served in all of the military branches in various wars. I would listen to them share stories with each other about what they had experienced during their time in the service. It was through hearing their stories of great struggle, perseverance, sadness, and triumph that I learned what the true definition of a veteran is and what led them to join the military in the first place. The greatest quality and attribute that all veterans and current service members have today is love. Love is the glue that holds the words honor, courage, and commitment together in their hearts and actions. I learned there is no greater act of love than laying one's life down for another or for millions that you will never meet, plus those to come. I served as a Master of Arms in the Navy for 6 years. I chose that job because I wanted to be the first line of defense to protect everyone else serving. These service members are the greatest humanitarians I know, always ready to deploy to help, whether it's a natural disaster like a hurricane, going to war, or to building schools and hospitals in war-torn countries. I went through my boot camp training at Recruit Training Command Great Lakes in Illinois. I was sent to Lackland Air Force Base in Texas for my military police training. I am the first and only female in my family lineage to serve in the military. I learned, though I may be small, that I am indeed mighty. There were times where I felt like I could not do another push-up or march another mile with my rucksack, which felt like it weighed more than myself at the time. Yet there was always someone in front of me and behind me saying, I am here. Do not give in to this feeling. This too shall pass, and keep pushing. It is through these adverse experiences and challenge that you gain the strength and wisdom to know it is possible to overcome and conquer your biggest enemy, which is always yourself. The next day, you could be the person saying, I am here. You can do this, to the person falling behind you. Because guess what? Courage is contagious. Courage is a resistance to fear, a mastery of fear, but not the absence of fear itself. Great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. You begin to realize that each task or mission you are asked to perform does not get easier, but it is you, indeed, who becomes mentally and physically stronger. I spent my time helping out other veteran organizations. While I was on active duty for the Navy, I spearheaded a fundraiser for the Stepping Stones for Veterans organization, which is in Anderson, Indiana. Not all wounds are visible, and this organization provides a place to live, on-site counseling, and jobs for veterans who have lost their homes or jobs due to their mental health or physical issues. My husband and I created and paid for a website for the Mary T. Klinker Veterans Center in Lafayette. This organization came to my rescue when I ran out of propane 2 days before Christmas, when Sadie was in 4th grade right after we moved here. We had just spent all of our money buying Christmas presents and what groceries we could afford because I was not working, and my husband, due to his injuries sustained from Iraq and all of his back surgeries, could not himself work. So I was really grateful when they came to my rescue and paid for us to be able to have heat for that Christmas. And Frontier also that Christmas provided Mrs. B with a whole lot of food, which I can never say thank you enough for that. I continue to volunteer my time and help as they need it. I think of freedom not as the right to do what we please, but the opportunity to do what is right. All soldiers take an oath to support and defend our Constitution and to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I try my best to be a great example of love, honor, courage, and commitment every day when I serve this school and all of you in it. We will remain the land of the free so long as it is the home of the brave, and you all are brave enough to encourage each other and stand up when the time comes. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who gave their life to protect it.
We've got one more message from a veteran, but this is one of the high school teachers. He is currently on FMLA leave because he is battling cancer. I'm sure some of you know Mr. Johnson from the high school. He sent us a video message that we're going to watch now.
The 7th Marine Regiment in Gulf Company. Greetings, Frontier. My name is Peter Johnson. Those of you who will have me in a few years for PE, you may call me Mr. Johnson. I was in the United States Marine Corps from 2002 to 2006. I served with the 2nd Battalion of the 7th Marine Regiment in Gulf Company Weapons Platoon. I was an 0351 assaultman, which is now obsolete, unfortunately. Our air power and tanks are so impressive that we didn't have to really use people in my job for my job. But I was trained with a rocket launcher called the SMAW, shoulder-fired multi-purpose assault weapon, and then expedient demolitions using C4, TNT, and dynamite to blow things up as needed. So our main job back from World War II era and up to almost this day was to be able to breach through defensive positions, blow up bunkers, and blow up tanks. But like I said, that is found to not really be needed now. My training was very fun, but whenever I went on tour, I did 2 tours in Iraq, I always felt myself just being basically a rifleman. I did get a door open one time for a locked house that we had to search, so that was very fun. But one story I have time for was when we were outside of the city of Rawa, which was full of people very loyal to the Ba'athist Party, which is the party of Saddam Hussein, who at that time had recently been deposed, taken out. And we knew there'd be insurgents in the city. There'd been some small arms fire up in that area. And we were in a base just on the other side of the Euphrates River from the small town that was kind of up on the side of the hill. And our base was also kind of bowl-like, not exactly a valley, but kind of in a bowl. It looked like some areas had close to a foot of moon dust. We called it just thick, powdery dust. I don't know, rocks. It used to be a quarry that's been pulverized, but walking through and driving through there was very interesting. But one night we were up on a post outlook. There's 4 posts around the perimeter to keep an eye out for anyone trying to get inside of our area. And I had just gotten off of post with one other Marine, and we were switching out. There were 6 of us up there. 4 would be resting, and 2 would be on for 4 hours. And it just gone from dusk to dark. And after being on post, very tired, so we immediately were starting to nod off to sleep. We've been off post for 5 or 10 minutes. And in my sleep, I still remember hearing what was kind of like T-Rex footprints, just a thud, and I heard them at different spots around me as I'm half asleep. And then the very last one, I think it was the 4th explosion, was 3 feet from us on the other side of our barrier. We had these HESCO barriers filled with earth. They just get trucks, tractors to dump earth into them. And that absorbed all the impact, but just 3 feet more, and a mortar, which is a little explosive, they drop in a tube, and it launches really high up and arcs down into an area, had landed on the other side of us. So we all jumped up, super alert, of course, like that. Grabbed our rifles, threw our flak jackets over our t-shirts, our helmets down, pointing at the city about a half a mile away, completely dead silent. We look up at the post. They thought we were all dead. They just saw smoke. They thought it landed right on us. And we're like, well, let's go back to bed. This is kind of what you got used to. Not that that type of thing happened all the time, but there'd be IEDs and that type of stuff, explosives by the road as they try to hit our vehicles. So it's kind of what you train for, and you go back to sleep. So I was proud to be able to serve my country, and I was proud to be a U.S. Marine.
Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Integrity. It is choosing courage over comfort. It is choosing what is right over what is easy. It is choosing to practice our values rather than professing them. Our veterans have shown that they possess integrity, not through their words, but through their actions. A quote from an unknown officer reads, "Real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to know whether you did it or not." The integrity of our veterans is one of the many reasons we celebrate them today.
At this time, we would like to honor our military heroes and recognize the brave men and women of the Air Force, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines. We would ask the veterans to please stand while your branch of the service is being recognized in song.
Off Veterans Day poem by Cheryl Dyson. On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some had lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
TAPS was originally written in July 1862 by Union Army Brigadier General Daniel Butterfield to replace a French bugle called used to signal lights out at dusk every evening. The use of TAPS quickly spread throughout both armies of the American Civil War and is still used to signal lights out in non-deployed military units.
Captain John Tidball began the tradition of sounding taps in military funerals in 1862, when a corporal of his artillery battery was killed. Tidball wished to bury his man with military honors, but was not allowed to fire the three-gun salute. Tidball instead had taps played at the funeral to honor his most excellent man.
The original lyrics composed for TAPS by Horace Lorenzo Trim are, "Day is gone, gone the sun, from the lakes, from the hills, from the sky. All is well, safely rest, God is nigh. Fading light dims the sight, a star gems the sky, gleaming bright. From afar, drawing near, falls the night. Thanks and praise for our days, neath the sun, neath the stars, neath the sky. As we go, this we know, God is nigh."